All right. We are live right now, Alexis.
Wonderful.
So we'll kick in and get everything going here in about a minute or so as we're waiting for some people to catch on and start to watch us.
Beautiful.
Glad to have you on, by the way. It's fantastic to have somebody that I've respected all this time come on and do an interview with me. It's a fantastic experience.
Yeah. So I appreciate it as well, Keith. Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, for sure. This will be fantastic. So just a little bit on what we're covering today for everybody that's on here is we have Alexis Summerfield with us. We'll give you an introduction as to who she is in just a second. But we're going to be covering Feng Shui and how to use it to your best benefit, how to use it to the benefit of everything around you, how to have a happy house, which is tied into the real estate side of this as well. And it'll be pretty exciting. Quick little background on me, and then I want to jump into Alexis because she is by far the star of the show here. My name is Keith Walker. I'm with the Walker team of Intero here in Silicon Valley, and we have a great team here. We're very into a lot of what Alexis does and how we use it to help our clients and help ourselves. And I thought it would be incredibly beneficial and informative to have Alexis on here with everybody. So without any further ado, the famous Alexis Summerfield. Alexis, can you give us a little bit of background about yourself?
Of course. Well, hello, everybody. My name is Alexis Summerfield, and I've been a Feng Shui consultant for over 25 years, mostly in the San Francisco Bay Area, but now I live in Sedona, Arizona. It's a process and that's been a great service to so many people, not only purchasing a new home, but also bringing luck and fortune, bringing abundance, and releasing old energy in a home so that the new energy of the new owner can be beneficial. I have a master's in consciousness studies, and the type of Feng Shui that I do is BTB, which is Black Tantric Buddhist Feng Shui. And I learned and studied with Professor Lin Yun, who is the Grand Master and founder of BTB Feng Shui. He has a Berkeley, a temple in Berkeley. Although he's in Buddha land, he has passed a few years back. But I learned so much, and I love sharing that information with people to benefit their lives for greater health, greater abundance, and much more success. And a happy home.
And a happy home. I love it. And Alexis, and I know we'll get into this a little bit later in the show, but I know you've been doing this for like 25 years, haven't you?
Over 25, yeah, for sure.
25 years, yeah. And I think your level of clearings, which again we'll talk about at the end, but you're over 25,000 clearings, I think, at a minimum, right?
Been a busy girl.
And I can say from personal experience, I've been the beneficiary of many of those. So and I really appreciate everything that you've done. So let's share it with everybody. Can you give us a little background as to what Feng Shui is?
Sure. So Feng Shui attracts energy, attracts the Tao, T-A-O, so that you can bring harmony and balance into your location. So that's into your home, of course, into your business as well. And as that energy comes in, it activates different areas of what's called the Bagua. Excuse me. And a Bagua is an 8-sided figure that's about 4,000 years old and is used in all types of Feng Shui. And in the Bagua, which is a template that you place on your home, different areas of your home are represented by career or health, wealth, reputation, legal issues, all those kinds of things. As you attract energy and bring it in through these different methods, all of those areas of your life are supported. And people benefit tremendously. It also is very, very protective.
Excellent. I like that. And Alexis, I think we're going to get to the Bagua in just a second here. And so I'll bring it up here. But a quick question and just kind of a format for everybody that's here. This is completely interactive, everybody. So even though we're kind of in an interview format, and Alexis is going to be talking, we welcome your questions. We welcome your comments. If you're liking us, give us a little like. If you love what Alexis is saying, give us a big heart out there. Everything out there is totally interactive, and we're here to answer your questions. We've got a few set up, but bring them on as we're going. first thing, Alexis, that I wanted to ask you in particular as we go here is, when people are buying a home, what really are the most important things people should look for when they're buying a home as it relates to Feng Shui?
Well, there's a lot of things to look for. One would be how the house is sitting on the land. Is there is it a T-square? Is there any energy coming toward the house from the street? So that can be a difficulty in Feng Shui, because the car goes down the street and the car turns, but the energy doesn't. And so it can create a lot of chaos in the house. And I have, as I said, I've been doing this 25 years, a million examples of chaos in a house from a T-square. And definitely the shape of the house is crucial. So the best shape is a rectangle or a square. Most houses are rectangular, but you want to be sure if there's some big cutouts that's noticed and corrected. So in Feng Shui, everything can be corrected. And let's just say the back of the house has a cutout, so it's kind of an L shape, and that would be wealth corner. And you want to be sure that you have that protected and balanced. So you'd have to, if it is not in the house, you want to make a cure. Another one major thing is that you have stairs that are right in front of the front door. That absolutely needs to be cured. That just is money going out. And also, if you have a lot of glass in the back of the house and you open the door and the chi comes in and just goes right out because there's nothing to hold it. And it's maybe more beautiful outside. Maybe there's apple blossoms or beautiful trees or flowers. The chi will go out, which means money goes out. Those are a few of the things to look for.
Oh, excellent. So that's a good starting point right there. Would you be okay if I brought up the Bagua on the screen right now? We can talk a little bit about it? Okay.
Sure, absolutely.
All right, let me get our Bagua up straight from your website as well.
Great.
And there we go. So we have a Bagua up there on the screen. And if you want to carry us through it a little bit, that'd be fantastic.
Absolutely. So a Bagua is, I said, it means 8-sided figure. It's 4,000 years old. It began in Asia and moved through different areas of Asia. And actually it began in India and moved through different areas of Asia. And each area of the Bagua, so you're taking that template and you're placing it like a bird's eye view on top of your house. And everything in BTB, Feng Shui, is in relationship to the front door. So if you see then that Bagua, there's an area that is black, and that is career. So the color black in Feng Shui means water, and water means money. So the color black is very, very beneficial. So that if you walk in the front door, let's say your door is right in the center of the house, you'd be walking into career. And you see that there is an element of water. So it would be lovely to have, and very beneficial to have, pictures of water or a fountain or something that a little fish bowl, but something that represents water. And then as you look over to the right, you'll see helpful people, luck and fortune. And there's a color there, and the color is silver or gray. And again, all of these colors, as you see the Bagua, are extremely important, and they need to be in that order. Because and I've had experiences of visualizing and helping people as I've done Feng Shui for their home, and they put the colors in the right place. There is something magical, like a chill goes right up my back. It's like a rainbow, and the rainbow's always in a certain order. So the colors, when they're in a certain order, they attract chi, they attract the Tao. So helpful people is your area of luck and fortune. And so there's a very, very important area that you have supportive people around you, that you're supportive of other people. It's an area of good luck. And then as you go up, so let's say on the right, as you walk in the door in career, let's just say, over to the right is helpful people. And beyond that is creativity and children. And again, there's a color. So the color is white. The element is metal. And there is actually a shape, which is round. So maybe you'd have a silver clock on a wall, and the clock would have the hands that are moving. So that would attract chi. Anything that moves or shines or has glitter attracts energy. If it's dull, if it's cluttered, if it's empty, it does not attract chi. And we always want to attract positive energy and keep it moving and flowing so that we have good fortune. And then in the very back, and this is true in every house, as you walk in the front door at the very back right is partnership or marriage. So in a business, it would be business partnership. At a home, it would be your marital partnership or your intimate partnership. The color is pink, and you might want to put something that has two of something. So I'll have you show you something here. This is a plant. I don't know if you can see it, but if you can, there's two stalks of pink flowers. So this would be called an activator. And so in each of these areas, you place some kind of an activator to attract chi and to activate the power of that particular area, which is, in this one, partnership and good love, good health and partnership, happiness, that kind of thing. So in the very back of the house is reputation and legal issues. And that is, the color is red, the element is fire. And the shape you'd want there is something pointed. I did a house a long time ago. It was just so interesting. It was an architect, and he was having a lot of trouble with certain government organizations, and they wanted money, and it wasn't working out too well. And so all we did in his house was put red, and this is true, we put red back there in a shape of fire, and he was just astounded. Of course, we did the whole Feng Shui, but he was astounded. His bill was reduced down to $10,000, which really worked out very well for him. So when you place these cures and you activate these different areas, life changes, and it can change very quickly, and it can be a very, very positive experience. So you're moving into harmony and balance with the whole universe, and you're not out of alignment, and there's no discordant or destructive energy. So in the back left corner is the wealth area, and the wealth area is very important to all of us. And so it's money coming in and blessing you and your family. It's very important that that area is not cut out, as I mentioned earlier. The color is purple. Also gold is a beautiful color in wealth. And you would enhance that area, even though there's no element there. Water is money, so you'd put a waterfall there or a picture of water, something that is flowing and moving, so that wealth and prosperity can bless your life and the lives of all of those in your home. And below that is family. So when you walk into your house, this left side is family. And the color is green, and the element is wood. Well, in Feng Shui, there's a creative cycle and a destructive cycle. So I remember walking into this particular home, and they had all these metal objects in their family area. Well, metal chops wood in Feng Shui. And so I said, how does your family get along? And she said, oh my God, everything is just terrible. We're having all kinds of trouble. Well, I said, take some of this metal out so that the wood can support your family and that their family can be cooperative to each other and get along. I heard from her later that this was an extremely beneficial experience for her, which I love, of course.
A great story.
And then over to the left is wisdom and knowledge. And wisdom is the color blue. There is no element, but it's making good decisions in your life. It's using the knowledge that you have and that your family has to create a healthy, successful, happy life, happy home. And so the wisdom, you'd put the color blue there and maybe have at least some books or something that represents the wisdom you've gained in your life. Then the last area of the Bagua is health, and that we're all interested these days, particularly in health. And you want to have that supported by the earth element. So the element is earth. The color is yellow or green. or excuse me, yellow or orange, earthy colors. Think of trees and how they change colors. And you'd want to have something there that's like it's not a plant, but like a wood, like a pot made of ceramic, a ceramic pot or something that symbolized that element of earth. And once you have all the elements and colors, you're really on your way with Feng Shui.
Oh, excellent. That's a great description, Alexis. And by the way, you got a ton of questions while we were there. so that was perfect because your explanation really brought up a bunch of stuff. Can I fire a couple of these at you?
Absolutely.
Okay, let me stop the sharing of the screen and put you up front and center.
Okay.
And also, and I'll pop these questions up as we have here. One of the questions we got was, what if you have a two-story house? How does that affect the Bagua?
Okay. The most important Bagua is on the main level. So that's where you want to be sure that all of the areas are covered and supported and activated. The upstairs, so as you go up your stairs, the first place you put your foot and the direction that would be like your front door. And so the upstairs, the Bagua starts at the stairway. So some of it could be cut out because it could be behind the stairway. And that's called outside the Bagua. And there are cures for that, like a mirror, to bring it back in so that every area of the upstairs is covered. I don't see the Bagua upstairs as being as significant as the one downstairs. It can be a lot to do both. If you have a home office up there or downstairs, that can be a separate Bagua based on the door of your office. And that can be very beneficial to have that activated and the wealth area and career area covered.
Okay, excellent. That's a great answer. So as always, Alexis, your knowledge always just astounds me.
Well, thank you. You've been doing it a long time.
Yeah, I think I've probably known you for 12 to 15 years at least.
Absolutely.
So,
absolutely.
I have another question that came up a little bit earlier and you mentioned this about the energy of a car, right? When it changes, that the energy keeps going. So yes. What about a house at a T intersection? Explain a little bit more about that, if you would.
Sure. So when you have a T intersection, there is a street that is going directly into your house, toward your house. And the car, of course, turns. It's a perpendicular and a horizontal and a perpendicular, horizontal and vertical streets. As it goes down the vertical, it's going to turn to the left or the right on the horizontal. The energy does not turn. It goes straight. And just a really good example, many years ago, I lived at the end of a T-square before I did Feng Shui. And one day, the almond tree that was right in front of our house fell over. It was an Easter morning, actually, and it just fell over. And all of that energy had knocked that tree down. It had been there 20 years. It just fell over.
Wow.
What was interesting is I got a divorce right after that. And that tree had been protecting us from this Sha-Chi, which is what's negative energy, and the protection was no longer there. So there was a lot of difficulty after that as well.
Oh, okay. All right. And, and we'll come into this. Well, just a quick one.
I want to say there's also, if you have that situation, if you put a chime in a tree or hanging away from the house, and and I'll talk about activation, you activate that chime to break up the chi, and chi is energy, to break up the chi so that the chi does not affect the home.
Okay, excellent. And that comes down to a question I have, and we have a lot more questions here. You're very popular, by the way. So if there is a problem in the house, can anything be cured or resolved?
Yes. If there is an issue with the structure of the house you're talking about?
Just in general, if you have some, like you said, the Sa-Chi, right? Or, or an issue with the structure or anything in general that we're dealing with that's negative.
Anything can be cured. If you've got a crack in the foundation of your house, you've got a crack in the foundation of your house. But if there's an area that is not supported so that the energy can support you, then always there is a cure. Absolutely. The Shachi just means negative energy. If you've bought a house and you're in a home where the previous residents have had a lot of difficulty, and these days it can be a lot. There can be financial loss, kids on drugs, serious health issues, someone passes away in a house. I mean, all kinds of things. Then that needs to be, in my view, cleared. And that's a process in Feng Shui. And once the house is cleared, the energy is clean again, then setting up the Bagua is very beneficial.
Okay, excellent. It carries into another question we have. And everybody, by the way, we've got a lot of questions. I'm going to get to all your questions. Alexis is fantastic and here for us. But I'll be getting to them. You're kind of flowing, Alexis, into a lot of these, which is great. One of the questions that came out is, what fixes can be done to best sell a home so that a family buying a home might feel comfortable?
Well, the main thing, as I mentioned earlier, to clear a home, which is a process in Feng Shui that I do, is extremely beneficial, because once a house is clear, the previous resident's energy is released, and people walk in and they go, "Oh, this is great." They feel completely at home and completely comfortable. That's number one. Definitely to put like purple flowers in the wealth corner, to activate an intention to get your asking or over.
Okay.
Now, I've talked about activations quite a few times. Do you want me to say what that is, Keith, or do you want me to wait?
No, please go ahead. Yeah, let's talk about what an activation is while we're on it.
Okay. So every cure has to be activated. And it's something called the 3 secrets. And so the 3 secrets are, let's say, for example, you put a purple flower or a purple crystal in your wealth corner. And you set an intention. And if you're selling your house, your intention is that we get asking or over, that we have a very beneficial experience, and that it's a win-win situation, and that we are able to make a profit on our home as we sell it. So bringing the wealth corner, or you can just put purple flowers there during an open house. That would be beautiful. Now, the other part of the activation is you're setting an intention. So you're visualizing your house sold. You see sold right across it, and you know it's happening. As soon as you bring in fear and doubt, you haven't done much. But if you can be with the positive aspect of knowing, it just is a process of creation, and you will sell. And then the third part of the 3 secrets is a mantra. And Feng Shui is always done with the mantra Om Mani Padme Hum. That is on my website, and it's on my YouTube channel. And I have activations, a lot of videos on activations that you can look at to get ideas. So it's Om Mani Padme Hum, and it's just done 9 times, and it activates, let's say, those purple flowers. Om Mani Padme Om, 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 Om Mani Padme Om. And so it is. Ho!
I'm very familiar with that, Alexis.
You are. I am too.
Excellent.
Yeah. And so the mantra means heaven dwells within my heart. It means I am one with all that is divine. And in that oneness, whatever I state clearly with intention is manifested. So it is called, if you wanted to look at it, Google it, it's called the 6 true words. And they're original Sanskrit words on our planet. And they are incredibly powerful.
One more time, it's the 6 true words?
6 true words. You can just Google that, and you'll get videos and audios and all kinds of information on these amazing Feng Shui mantra.
Excellent. And Alexa, somebody you probably remember, Chia Rodeski. So
yeah.
She had a question coming in here. She's asking, is there any recommendation on keeping the good energy going in the new home?
Well, probably the best one is to be happy and to stay positive, and to every word that comes out of your mouth is a very positive word, and you're actively creating abundance, good health, and cooperation and love between you and your family. And definitely not to have a lot of clutter. Clutter, if it's interesting with clutter. So clutter is destructive in that Sha-Qi gathers. It can't flow. Energy has to flow. It has to move. And when it moves, it's actually extremely colorful. I mean, I've seen it. It's purple, it's orange, it's golden, it's white, it's luminescent. But when Qi doesn't move, it's black. So that's true in our body. When we exercise and we stay healthy, the Qi is flowing and moving, we're all set. If we have an injury and the Qi stops moving, we have pain. And that energy is, I see it, it's actually black. And that's in a home, it's in a person. So you don't want a lot of clutter. And if there has been, which I find interesting, a previous resident who's had tremendous clutter, cleaned it up to sell it, that Sha-Qi is still there. And that needs to be cleared.
Interesting. Okay. I'm going to have you clearing a house here pretty soon, Alexis. Not mine, but maybe mine too.
We've done it a couple times.
Right. So I've got another one here. Somebody's asking, Marco is asking, what if you're open to the concepts of Feng Shui, but the rest of your family is not?
Well, as I said before about the negative thinking, if people become negative, oh, what's that crystal they're doing there? Or isn't this silly? That isn't very helpful. But definitely setting it up yourself, and if others are not in misalignment in an outward fashion, I don't think it would be a problem.
Okay, excellent. Thank you, Alexis. I have a couple more questions, and we roll on here, and then I still have a few questions for you. Are you okay on your time? Are we doing good?
We're good. Absolutely.
Yeah. Excellent. Patrick is asking, what's important about the direction of a front door?
Okay. There are several types of Feng Shui, more than several. But I would say the two biggest ones are BTB, which is Black Tantric Buddhist Feng Shui. The color black in our society has a little bit of a different connotation. Black in Feng Shui is water, and water is money. So it's a very beneficial color. So BTB does not use direction at all. Now the other, let's say the other most famous type of Feng Shui is compass. And compass is all directional. And it's very popular, I'm going to say in Asia. It's not as popular here because we have building codes that don't really allow us to change the direction of our house to go a certain way because it might bring in more money or health. So all you need is just at the front door, be sure don't have anything in front of it that blocks the Qi. You don't want to put a big tree in front of it, a big plant in front of it. You want to have it open, and so that it can receive energy. The energy comes in through the front door, and you can receive that.
Oh, excellent. Excellent. Is there any, carrying on to that, is there any benefit to a particular design of a front door, one that would be more beneficial than another?
Not particularly design, although you don't want a little alcove. That's called a dust bucket in Feng Shui. Okay. Sometimes there's a set where the door goes, there are walls on either side of the front door to make a little alcove. Yeah. That collects negative energy. That's just Sha-Qi. So you don't want that. If people wonder about the color, a lot of people think, oh, I'm going to make it a red door to attract Qi. Well, I would not suggest that. The reason is if the front door is in career and the element of career is water and the red door is fire, it wouldn't be beneficial. I don't think the shape of it particularly matters.
Okay. Oh, excellent. Excellent.
I'm going to say one thing about the shape. It should be, the front door is the mouth. So you think of a face. You don't want a great big mouth and you don't want a little tiny mouth. You want it to be in alignment with the size of the house. That's important.
Okay, that makes sense. A lot of sense. Speaking of, here's one that we get a lot actually, is what about wearing shoes in the house? How is that in relation to Feng Shui?
Well, when I was in Japan, I stayed with someone who was sponsoring me, and I was doing Reiki workshops. And I had the benefit to stay in his parents' home. And when I was in one of the rooms, his mother came in and screamed because she knew I was from America, and she was sure I had shoes on. I did not. I did not have shoes on. In Asia, it's considered a contamination that you're bringing the outside into a clean home. I haven't found that, and I just don't think that that's particularly relevant here. That's just my opinion. Sometimes it's not comfortable to take off your shoes because it can be cold. I don't have a strong feeling about it in this country, but in Asia they do.
Okay, all right, perfect. So we got another one here from Marco. Under what situation should one never buy a particular home? Would there be a reason to not buy something in particular?
Well, the T-square would be something that needs to be cured. Sometimes, and that's true in the East Bay, there are large hills that maybe they've cut part of the hill to put a road through or a subdivision in. And if you've got a large hill too close to your door or your front of your house, it'd probably be the one I'm thinking of is across the street from the house. And that does not allow chi to come into the front door. And there's not much to do about that. That's a very serious one. I've only seen that several times. And the people have very serious issues. Do you want the wealth corner? Definitely. I wouldn't buy a house without a wealth corner, even though it can be cured. If that back left corner is cut out, that's not too beneficial.
Okay.
Those are the big things. The stairway, as I mentioned earlier, is not great, but it can be cured. But it's not some of these real popular and cures that people know about these situations. It's not beneficial to have a stairway or a T-square or your wealth corner out.
Okay. All right. Thank you. So that's fantastic. So it's good. We still had questions coming in, but I have a couple of questions that I wanted to get in here too, Alexis.
Sure.
So you mentioned clutter being a problem.
Yeah.
Can you explain a little bit more about that and why it is a problem?
Well, the big thing is that it doesn't allow energy to move.
Okay.
So in your home, you have your furniture arranged in a certain way so that energy can come in the front door, and you're using activators, which in Feng Shui are crystals, chimes, plants, mirrors, or a lovely piece of art, or a lovely lamp that is lit so that light comes in. The chi will come in the front door and follow. But if there is a lot of clutter, it gets stuck there. And then you have sha chi, and then you really have a problem.
Okay.
Clutter is not beneficial at all. And that includes garage. Sorry.
For all those people that want a clean house, you just gave them all the support for that, Alexis. Nice job.
Good.
Right. What about landscaping? Does landscaping matter?
Oh, yes. So there is a Bagua in the yard as well as in the house. And it's based on the driveway. So the driveway would be considered the front door to the landscaping. And so you would still have the same Bagua in relationship to the driveway being the front door. And then you could put plants or different colors of vegetation in these different areas, or you could put like a little statue, maybe a Chinese god of wealth, or a statue, or a small fountain in your wealth corner. Okay.
Oh, perfect. Oh, sorry, the fun thing about coming from home, there's my dog trying to talk to us. Okay. So, that's spot on. Right. Just a reminder to everybody out here, this is interactive. Feel free to ask questions, give us some likes, give us some hearts. Alexis is just a world of knowledge. We love having her on here. A couple more that I've got on here for you, Alexis. How is there a way to kind of like bulletproof your home against bad energy?
Okay. Well, definitely the Bagua would be your bulletproof. It would be to put the elements and the colors in the certain areas, to have an activator, which is a crystal, chime, plant, mirror, piece of art, something in your home so that the chi is attracted to the chi is what protects you. That's your bulletproof. It's your chi. It's got to be moving. As soon as it's moving, then you're good. You may have a neighbor who's bipolar. We have one, and this is very effective. And this would be a mirror facing the neighbor, and that keeps his energy or her energy away from your house. And another very powerful cure. This is a major cure. I'm telling you, I've never had this fail. If you have any difficulty or you just want to bulletproof your house, you would take red chili peppers and dried, and you can get them in big bags for $6 online, and you crunch them up and you walk around the house and you put them around the perimeter. And you chant, it's the mantra. The mantra is no point in doing any kind of activation or cures without the mantra. Om Mani Padme Hum, which is 6 true words. You can look that up. And you put it around the whole perimeter of your house. And that's your bulletproof. It's incredible. I've just had so many experiences, including with myself, of difficulty just gone.
That's excellent. So a question on that then is that I'm assuming that's the exterior perimeter of the house, or is it the
interior? Thank you.
All right. So, yes, they have a lot of chili peppers all now.
And watch out for your dogs; they might like it too.
Oh, geez. So you answered one that I was going to ask about neighbors, which is perfect. The mirror up there to stop the neighbors. That's fantastic.
The mirror and the chili peppers. You're all set. I guarantee that.
I love it. You mentioned. One of the questions I had was bad energy and how it happens. And it sounds like, if I'm listening correctly, it's when the chi isn't moving, correct? So that's when you have the buildup. Is that part of it, or?
Yes, it's when the chi isn't moving, or you have maybe a difficulty like the T-square or the wealth corner out, and then you've got argument and disharmony. Nothing will bring in sha chi like argument and disharmony. Nothing.
Excellent.
Stay happy. Stay positive.
Stay positive. Right on there. Yep. I love it. Right after my own heart, Alexis. Nice. Patrick is asking a question here. If you should have a mirror facing towards your front door.
No.
Okay. No. Is that just like keeping the chi from coming in?
Yeah, there would be no purpose. There is a special little bagua you've probably seen that has a wooden frame on it, and it has the different I Ching markings of the bagua. And a lot of times people will put that inside the house. It should only go outside of the house, and that's the only one that you'd ever want to put outside the house.
Okay.
And it should never go inside because it would bring bad luck.
Really? Okay. That's good. Some people probably wouldn't know. I wouldn't know that unless you would have said it right now.
No, I know. I've gone into houses where they've had it inside, and I said, well, first of all, let's just take that down and put it outside.
Right.
Where it belongs.
Here's a question I'm sure a lot of people want to know, especially when it comes to investing in a house and selling a house and just life in general. What's the best cure to bring in more money?
Well, in Feng Shui, water is money. And so, and you want the water in the right place. So a lot of times people will have a pool in the very back middle of their yard. And that area actually is fire, which is legal issues, all that kind of thing.
Okay.
You don't want water there. You want water in the back left corner outside. And you want water inside, either in career on the Bagua or in wealth. And again, staying positive. We are creating it every moment. And to have, if you have financial difficulty and financial loss, which many people do right now, it's very important to stay at a high vibration so that money can find its way to you.
Thanks.
And it will. And it will. And so again, the clearing, the clearing is my big thing. Clear your house, clear the negative energy, and the money will find its way to you. And if you look at my website, you look at the testimonies, money finds its way to people, and good health.
I'm sure I have a testimonial up there on your website somewhere.
Yes, you do.
So, I've got a ton of them, Alexis. So you mentioned crystals, right? What crystals do you use?
Well, the Feng Shui crystals are really, other natural crystals are beautiful, and I have natural crystals. We have that in our house. But a Feng Shui crystal is actually a lead crystal, and you only want to use Swarovski because Swarovski is guaranteed to be at least 30% lead, and it's the lead, it's the metal that holds the chi. If you just have a glass crystal, the chi isn't going to hang out there. Okay. And so activating your crystal or your mirror with the mantra, Om Mani Padme Om, Om Mani Padme Om, Om Mani Padme Om. You want to bring energy in, setting an intention and visualizing what you want. And that is the Feng Shui process of creation. Using crystals.
Thank you for sharing that. And tied into that, when you have a crystal that's activated, does it like expire at some time, or does it need to be reactivated or replaced?
I think you would know that by your life. If you have a wealth crystal and it's been activated by me or by someone else, maybe 5 years ago, and things were going great, and suddenly they're not, I'd take it down, I'd wash it in salt water, and I'd reactivate it. Okay.
So I asked that personally because I've got a couple around my house. So, right. And then let's see. Oh, is there a book that you would recommend for viewers?
Yes. The book that I like is Sarah Rosbeck's Interior Design and Feng Shui. And I've never found it to be so much interior design. It's all the principles of Feng Shui. She was a disciple of Grand Master Professor Lin Yun, and he helped her learn and write. He wrote the foreword. And her book has incredible knowledge of how to do it yourself. I think hers is the very best. So it's Sarah Rosbeck, Interior Design and Feng Shui. And it has had many prints. The first one was in 1987, which I read.
Excellent. I think I have this that I can put up. I just put it on the feed if anybody wants that book. And I just popped it up on the screen too. It's Interior Design and Feng Shui by Sarah Rosbeck. Excellent. Yeah. Okay, one of the things that you keep hinting about, Alexis, and I'm very familiar with, and I know some of the people that are here on this webinar are familiar with as well, is about clearings. So can you explain a little bit more about clearings and what that entails and what's it all about?
Sure. So negative energy is when it gathers in a home or business, it can be very impactful and it can cause tremendous difficulty. Actually, tremendous difficulty. So what a clearing does is I have a colleague and we work together, and her name is Beverly Montgomery, and she's in California and I'm in Arizona. And we clear, and we do about 50 clearings a week. And we have done that for many years. Clearing a home, first of all, to sell it is incredibly beneficial. It releases the previous residents' difficulties. So when somebody walks into a home, they're feeling a clean space, a place they'd want to be. If you're having difficulties yourself, just in your own life, and your energy has been impacted, certainly by the pandemic, but also by financial loss, illness, divorce, anything like that, that energy will start to overtake the positive chi, and it can cause disharmony and a lack of success in every area of your life. It can be very serious, or it can be just difficulty. but it can be either way, either direction. Negative chi comes in very different forms, and there can be entities in the house. There can be just gathered dark chi, negative energy. But if it's in your wealth corner, if it's in your house, it just stops everything. And releasing it is not at all difficult.
Nice. There's something I want to touch on that you mentioned, but first, something I've had sitting up here since you were speaking a little bit about the clearings here. You probably remember Gus, who you just spoke to recently. So, and Gus has up here, he said, speaking of testimonials, thank you for clearing my home. What a vast difference. Everything is flowing and light.
Oh, I love that. Thank you, Gus.
Absolutely great. And I can definitely testify to that just on the experiences that I've had with you, Alexis, and the experiences I've had personally with you, and the experiences I've had clearing a home. I remember the very first time that I actually had the joy of working with you. You know, I was fairly skeptical at the beginning because I was like, okay, what is this stuff? I'm not familiar with it, right? And just general nature of human beings. And I had a home that was for sale that sold and fell apart. It sold and fell apart again.
Yes, very difficult.
Right. So, yeah. And then I was like, hey, let's call this Alexis person. Let's try this. Let's try this Feng Shui stuff. So, and you came in, and interestingly enough, I won't go into details, but you know, you talked about what the problematic area of the house was. And the thing that really struck me at that point is you didn't have any inside information. You didn't know anything about it, but you were able to pinpoint where the bad energy was in the house. Yeah. And it was spot on with the situation that was occurring with those particular people. Yeah. So it's pretty amazing. And you cleared it. And then the funny thing you said to me was, in 3 days, you're going to get an offer and this one's going to stick. And I was like, okay. So yeah. Right. So 3 days later, I got an offer and it stuck. So, and I was like, I think I'm probably going to try this again. So, and then,
there we go.
Right. And then once I started trying it personally, it pretty much blew me away to see what happens. And literally, as Gus was saying in his testimonial here, is you feel free. Right? You feel like there's this comes out where there's not this weight upon you.
You actually are free. You actually are free.
So because well, you feel that way. I love it.
Yeah. Yeah. I do too. And I love what comes from the freedom that people can experience. As you know, I clear people and homes. And the benefit of being unattached from other people's energy is basically what it is, can just open the whole world up for you.
That's awesome. And I've seen that. And I've seen that when you cleared my business. I've seen all of it. It's amazing. Margot has a question on here too. He says, if you clear your home of entities, will it leave your home open for other entities to enter?
No, no, okay. No. Entities, we don't, first of all, when we clear, we don't remove anything. We give the energy therapy. And the therapy is a very beautiful system of love and compassion. And so we are assisting the energy, whether it's entities or whether it's negative chi or sha chi. Energy has consciousness. We assist it to move to a whole other level. And instead of leaving, it just supports you. You know, basically we say, do you want to go to jail or do you want to go to lunch? It will always choose.
It sounds like the talk you can have with realtors. You can feed them, you'll always get them show up. And if you make them fail, they go scurrying.
Perfect.
Excellent. Right on. I did have one more question on here. I think you've covered everything. You've been so wonderful.
Sure.
In an address, do the numbers of an address matter?
Yes. I remember doing a house up in, I can't think of the place. But anyway, the address was 444. And they had so many difficulties, it was just absolutely mind-blowing. Well, we were doing the Feng Shui. What 444 means in Mandarin is death. And so it wouldn't be a good number, right? The numbers that are good in Feng Shui are 9s and 8s. So 999 or 939 or 396, any multiple of 9 in Feng Shui is very good. But there's also traditional numerology where there's another whole set of numbers. Now 666 isn't great in our culture, but the Chinese culture, 666 is fine because it's still a multiple of 3s and 9s. So 4s, I would avoid 4s. I definitely avoid 3 4s in a row. I would move toward 8s and 9s and always a multiple of 3.
Okay. All right. That's good. That's very good to know. What about the numbers adding up together? Does that have any effect?
Yeah, that would be more, yes. And it's traditional numerology. Adding them up, if you've got a 5, you're going to have an adventuresome life. If you've got a 7, it's a more spiritual home. If it's a 6, it's more relationship oriented. So those, I think those all count.
Excellent.
Numbers are vibration. Vibration counts.
Excellent. So the interesting part, I have a 3, a 0, and a 1. So I have the 3, I have a 1, but they add up to 4. So,
right. But 1 4 is not a problem. 1 4 just means work hard, make money, do well.
Okay. All right.
4
Good.
4 4 is not a different. It's a different story.
Excellent. I have Patrick is asking another question. All right. Patrick is asking, does it make a difference if you enter your home through the garage or side door instead of the front door?
Well, when you lay the Bagua, it's always based on the architectural front door. So that is how it's set up, even if you enter the other way. And it's fine to enter the other way. It just is not how you'd set up the Bagua. And I would like to say, if you have your home office in your home, you want to put the Bagua on that home office as well. And if there's 2 doors, you would use the most used door to set it up, because the Bagua is always in relationship to the front door. That's the big key for BTB Feng Shui. And you can Google BTB Feng Shui. You'll get a lot of information. It's all very good.
Okay. And I have a question. So on my home office, now that we've got this, I can add some of mine. on my home office, my door is on the far side, right? It's on the far right side of the room. Does that affect the Bagua?
Well, your office, is it in the wealth corner or the reputation area, or?
Yeah, that's a great question. My office would be in the basically in the integrity and reputation corner.
Okay, so it's the back middle of your house.
Correct.
Okay, so first of all, that's one aspect of your home office. It's in legal issues, reputation, and that's a wonderful place to be. And then there's another Bagua you're going to set up by the door, however you enter it. Now, you're going to enter it on the room. Is it a little bit to the left or a little bit to the right or dead center?
The door is all the way at the right when you come into the room.
Okay, so your door is going to be, if you look at the Bagua, it's going to be in helpful people.
Okay.
Your career would be to the left of it, but it's still the same Bagua. It's still set up the same way. Okay,
perfect. That's really good to know. So, excellent. Alexis, you realize that we've been on here for almost an hour.
All right.
So it's so amazing having you on, and I just really appreciate you sharing. You have so much knowledge. I do want to just make a plug, because I've talked about how much that I've used you. Alexis is available for clearings. She does a phenomenal job. Even if you're a little skeptical at first, like I was, it's worth a try, because you don't know until you try. So, and it's amazing how much I've actually implemented in my life. I have to be very thankful for you for that, Alexis, because you opened my eyes to all of this, and I've seen the difference without a doubt. So, I appreciate that. I wanted to say to everybody that's out there, I appreciate all of you, all the love. This has been a very highly watched episode, which is great. We have a lot of people that have been on. And I'm Keith Walker again with Interior Real Estate. Got my info there. I'm the guy for the houses. Alexis is the person I actually use to, I point this way, it points to you. Alexis is the person that I use to clear a lot of the houses that I work on as well, including my own. So I thank you for that, Alexis. But I wanted to give you a moment to anything that you want to say. If you want to tell people how to reach you, I've got your website up on the screen right now. So I can share your phone number and email. I think they're all on the website as well, correct?
Beautiful.
Right.
Well, the main thing I would want to say is if you are interested in a clearing, it will benefit you tremendously. But also, if you're interested in Feng Shui, I'm in Sedona, Arizona, for me. And I can do that on Zoom. And I do a lot of Feng Shui on Zoom. And if you're ever interested in that, I'm happy to do it. And again, you can look at my website for all that information.
Excellent. And you can reach out to me because obviously I'm a huge fan. So I'll be happy to share anything you need to know about Alexis. And we've seen a few of them on here, Gus chiming in on what he had and all the questions that we have. Just, you were able to answer every single one of these questions, Alexis. You truly are a master at what you do. So, and have amazing knowledge. I appreciate you so much. And I think everybody, based on the response we have, appreciates having you on here.
I appreciate it so much too. Thank you. The pleasure.
Have a wonderful day. Have a wonderful weekend. And thank you again for all the good that you bring.
Namaste.
Namaste.